Yes, yes. Yeah. Doreen is on 21. Oh,
thanks. Hello, Doreen.
Oh, Steve, I'm glad I caught you. Listen, I really do need a favor.
How do you feel?
I'm not feeling well. I mean strong. I am not feeling strong.
Yes?
Now, Steve, please, don't say no. Jason is coming over in a little while, and I just can't meet him feeling like this. Do you suppose you could call the pharmacy downstairs in the hotel and have them give me something? I just need it for tonight.
Doreen, there's nothing I can do right now. We'll have to talk about it another time.
The doctors will return in just a moment.
Doreen, what you're asking is absolutely impossible.
Why? I only need something for tonight just to get over this fatigue.
Fatigue is a symptom, Doreen. It's not what's wrong with you, and you know it.
Please, please, Steve, don't be this way, please.
Doreen, now look, I want you to listen to me. I'm not some kind of a Dr. Feelgood with a pill for this and a pill for that. I wouldn't dare prescribe a drug for you until I knew what's wrong with you. Since you won't let anyone make an accurate diagnosis, what kind of a choice does that leave me?
Steve, I need help.
I know you need help. I told you that 3 weeks ago.
I don't mean I need some team of doctors poking at me. We already know what's wrong.
No, wait a minute. I don't know what's wrong with you, Doreen, and you just think you do.
Oh, why do we keep playing these games? I have leukemia. It's as simple as that. Look, Steve, Jason is about to come over and talk about finances and the medicine man. I need to be strong for him. Do you understand that, can't you? It's just this once.
Look, giving you a stimulant would be about the worst thing I could possibly do under the circumstances. Besides, I happen to feel that amphetamines are one of the worst drugs on the market. I don't prescribe them to anyone for anything.
Even when they're dying.
Doreen, we don't know what's wrong with you.
And no one cares
Now,
either.
wait. Wrong. I care. I do care.
No, you don't. If you cared, you wouldn't make me keep calling you, begging you like this. It's not... Oh, just a minute. Never mind, Steve. Goodbye. I just hope you're in the same situation once. Oh, hi. You are early. But my, don't you look handsome?
Well, thank you. And you look lovely as usual.
Oh,
how are you?
Perfect.
Good.
Fine, perfect timing. Just hung up.
see.
Doreen had some problems.
Oh, really?
We're free to go, aren't we? What would you say to an early dinner and then maybe check in with Jason when he gets home? There ought to be some word from Billy by then.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. I don't think we're gonna forget any of this. I mean, the way we feel and the way everything looks and the things we said to each other. Yeah, I got it. I'll tell you what. Why don't we pretend that this is wine and we can make a toast, okay? To our partnership.
And to the promises that we made to each other.
Okay. Now see, isn't this better than a marriage, huh?
Well, yeah. Marriage has all those rules and... Well, I think it sort of belongs to society, you know?
Yeah, me too.
Billy, that place that we left back there, it's just so unimportant compared to what we found here, you know?
Yeah. I mean, we pledged ourselves to each other, for the sake of our child. I want you to know something, Greta. I meant every word of what I said. I mean, those promises came from within me, I mean, I meant them more than I meant anything in my life.
Billy, so did I. And I want to tell you that if you ever need me, I'm here.
I'll never be that far away.
So you want to eat?
Yeah, why not?
You know, doing things together like eating is also an important part of it.
Yep, just like we share everything, right? You know, I've told you more about myself in this week, this last week, than I've told anybody in my life.
Me too, Billy. I don't think that I've ever been as close to any person as I am to you. I just wasn't that type of person to get close, you know? Now I sort of feel as though you're my brother and father and husband. Well, best friend, all rolled into one.
You know, that really makes me happy. That you think that way about me. It kind of makes me feel strong, you know, like I'm a man.
Billy, you have done so much more than a lot of men do already. I mean, with the wood and the food and just taking care of everything, you know?
Good. Thank you.
For what?
For making me feel like growing up is something that I should do, you know, and not just something that everybody's always screaming at me to do. That was to seal our pact together.
On problems.
It's like, I don't know, it's crazy. I get so scared sometimes. I can't breathe, you know? I'm just waiting until the baby's old enough to lie around and read comic books and things like that.
Well, you certainly don't want very much, do you, Billy? For it to be born immediately, for it to be able to read immediately.
I'd say the thing is, when I get over being scared of it being born, I'm going to be so scared because it's tiny. I mean, think of it. It's going to be tiny.
Perfect. Wonderful.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I'll be glad when it's all over.
Billy, listen, don't worry, because everything is perfect now. When that baby first announced itself a few months ago, it didn't get a very nice reception. But now we've created a perfect world for it to be born into with two parents joined together.
Yeah. Boy, a lot sure has happened since that first day he told me.
Well, we're ready now,
We're scared now.
but we're ready.
Yeah.
Kids drive you out?
Eric and his friends are in the den, and Steffi's watching television.
Yeah, I know. She said her grandma didn't let her watch much of it.
Some of those situation comedies are impossible.
Well, you're always welcome in this bedroom.
Did your mother say when Jason's going to be back?
No, but I'm sure she'll call if there's any word. What are you reading? The Lord of the Black Manor?
Nope.
The Happy Midwife?
Very funny, no.
Okay.
It's the psychology of childbirth.
Psychology of childbirth. Sounds fascinating. What do they tell you about the psychology of childbirth?
I don't know. I'm trying to find out by reading a book.
Fine. No, it's not fine. Honey, ever since we started to come home, you've been ignoring me and shutting me out. Okay, I get the point. Now, do you want to talk about it or not? Oh, don't just look at me with big, sad eyes. Wouldn't you like to share a few sentences with your husband?
I'd like to share a lot. That doesn't seem to be the way things are these days around here.
What does that mean?
We don't talk anymore, you know that. We don't, not really. You've got your life, your practice, your book, and I've got my life. My nursing, my courses. But we don't talk. Not about anything, not even about the kids. I can't count the number of times lately that we've said, well, let's just not talk about how we feel about Billy and Greta. And now, on top of everything else, you've got this little secret relationship with Doreen.
Oh, Doreen.
Yes. Oh, Doreen. I mean, I know you're not having any flaming romance with her. Just I don't think you are. But it sure is difficult. When you say you want to share, it's very difficult to believe you. I don't think you want to share anything with me anymore.
Honey, where did all this come from? I do want to share things with you. I do. But right now I can't. Completely. And I'd hope you'd try to understand that, baby, and not blame me. You know I'd tell you if I could.
God. Well, when you feel like telling.
Now, wait a moment. Please don't go away. There's something I want to tell you. I love you. And you know that I mean it, too. I think I love everything about you. Your new curls.
Stop it.
I love to talk to you. I love to talk with you. And I hate it when I hurt you. Because I never mean to, baby. I know you're hurt now. It's my fault, and I feel terrible, but there isn't much I can do about it, baby. Except ask you to believe me and trust me. There isn't anything in the whole world that I'd ever do to hurt you, if I could help it. And the world would be a pretty bad place to be if I thought you didn't love me. Oh, sweetie pie. Come on now. Don't do that to me. Don't you cry on me. Don't. I love you. I love you more than anything.
So you see, we have enough people. It's just that our equipment is outdated.
All right, you've got me convinced, but we can't buy new equipment without some sort of real-life demonstration. I mean, I want to see this stuff in actual operation, not just some shiny pictures in a brochure and a couple of paragraphs of promises.
Well, that is exactly my point. So, when do we leave?
What?
I have several restaurants ready to show us their equipment in New York.
You're kidding.
No, I am not. As a matter of fact, it's the same stuff we were talking about. So, come on, when do we go?
Well, now, wait a minute. I can't go to New York.
Oh, of course you can.
No, seriously, Doreen. We'll have to set up the demonstrations closer to Madison.
Jason, I've already made all the plans. Listen, I was thinking we could drive down to New York on, let's say, Thursday, maybe for the weekend. All right, we're going to have separate rooms, of course, but think about it. You know, we can go to the best restaurants and maybe even see a Broadway show or two.
Well, it sounds interesting.
Oh, then you just can't say no.
I have to.
Oh, come on, Jason. You can let that legal stuff at the hospital go for one weekend.
Doreen, that isn't it. Billy and Greta still haven't been found. And somebody could break at any time in a case like this, and Steve is expecting me to help.
Jason, listen, if they had wanted you to find them by now, they would have, and they would have gone back to their parents or something. You have done as much as you could do.
Well, you may be right, unfortunately.
Jason, life is too short to spend it worrying about other people's children.
What?
Oh, well, what I meant is that, well, this is an opportunity we just can't miss. You know, dinner in New York, a weekend, tax deductible.
I'm sorry, Doreen, but I can't. I've got to consider Nola's feelings, too, you know. She needs me.
So do I.
Look, why don't you take Luke along with you? He could be very helpful on this.
Not as helpful as you can. Besides, you and I understand each other much better.
Maybe.
No, maybe's about it. We do.
Doreen, Luke's a partner, too.
But not the same kind of partner you are. You and I were married once. Jason, I need you. Do it for me.
You're not asleep.
How can you tell? I might be.
You ain't. I can tell from your breathing.
You realize what time it is?
Not quite 8:30.
And we're in bed.
Wonderful, isn't it?
I love you.
Do you?
No matter what.
Hey, what's that supposed to mean?
I love you even if we can't talk about certain things.
Because I love you too. And I'd never want to lose you. You know, I felt sure we would have heard something by now. I would have been willing to bet money that Billy would have called.
I know. I just hope they're all right.
Imagine they are, we would have heard. What worries me is that what's coming could be such a bad experience for them, for everybody.
I know.
Oh, it'll all be beautiful at first, and exciting, and the first contractions, and the joy of the whole thing. Then there's the reality, and the reality could be deadly, and we can't even warn them.
Hold me. Oh, Rebecca, I'm so excited. And I want to cry and yell and laugh all at the same time. I guess it's like the feeling I used to have the night before Christmas. Only this is all Christmases rolled into one. I'm wide awake. Maybe more awake than I've been in my whole life. Oh, my baby, are you really coming? Is tonight the night? I felt the first contraction. And then later exactly the same feeling, just like the one before. And it was different than anything else I'd ever felt. In 1 minute, I'll know that the contractions are coming at regular intervals. Not just any old cramps, but the real thing, all in order. The hand is moving past the 9, past the 10, 11, and... Yes. That's it. Just like the others. And they're exactly about 20 minutes apart. Rebecca, I want to shout to the world, you're going to be born. You're going to be born. Billy. Billy.
What's the matter? What's the matter? You all right, huh?
Billy. She's on the way. The baby's coming.
Oh, dear God.
think about the letter in the paper, Matt?
Says what it has to say.
Well, I mean, if you were Greta, you'd realize how important that was and that you would seek medical help, wouldn't you?
Maggie, we don't know that she isn't getting medical help already.
Of course, you're right. I mean, wherever they went, I'm sure that they had the good sense to seek out some clinic. I mean, don't you? Matt, do you realize that she could be in labor right now?
Yes, I know, but unfortunately, there isn't anything we can do about it.
Oh, dear God, I feel so helpless.
If the baby is to be born safely, you must seek medical attention now. There is a problem that Greta isn't aware of, and if she tries to have the baby by herself, both mother and child will be in grave danger. Greta, I didn't know there was anything the matter with you. I guess you didn't either. Billy, please see that Greta is hospitalized before delivery. Maybe she's seen the letter already. Maybe she's had the baby and it's fine. Her parents would know. What if her mother recognizes my voice?
Okay, bye-bye. Hey, I heard your old roommate's quite a celebrity now.
Get lost, Mary.
Well, sorry.
The doctors will return in just a moment.
Yes? Hello? Hello?
Hello? Is this Dr. Powers?
Yes? Who's calling?
Well, you probably don't remember me. It's Katie.
Who?
Katie Snell. I was in the 4th grade with Greta.
Oh? What can I do for you, Katie?
Well, I was going through some old photographs, you know, from when I was a kid, and I found this picture of Greta, so I thought I'd call and find out how she is.
Yeah, well, Greta's away at the moment.
What? Do you know where she is? I mean, is there some way I could reach her?
Well, I could give her a message.
Do you hear from her?
Just a minute. I'll let you talk to her mother.
Hello? Hello? She hung up. Katie who?
Snell, she said. Katie Snell.
Who's that?
According to her, she was in the 4th grade with Greta.
Katie. No, I remember all of Greta's friends from grade school. I mean, they were like my own kids. They were here so often. I don't remember any Katie. What did she want?
She said she was going over old pictures, and she saw a picture of Greta and just wondered how she was.
It's odd, isn't it, that she would call right now?
Well, I got the feeling from the way she sounded when she asked about Greta that she already knew about Greta's problem.
Well, if it wasn't this mythical Katie, then who was it? I mean, it certainly wasn't Judy.
It didn't sound like Judy's voice.
Anyway, I don't think Judy would call. I mean, not after the terrible things that she did to Greta.
Well, I guess we're not going to find out unless she calls again.
Matt, I was wondering...
What?
Well, I was wondering, do you suppose that was a message from Greta?
Well, why would she get some stranger to call up under an assumed name?
Well, maybe she still doesn't want us to find her, but she does want us to know that everything's all right. I'm sure that's what Katie Snell was trying to tell us.
Uh-oh. What's on your mind?
Just we're strange creatures, we human beings.
Well, I suppose we are, but why bring it up now?
By all rights, we should be so worried about Billy and Greta. And all lustful thoughts are driven from our minds. And instead, here we are.
Darling, that's strange, I guess, only if you think your emotions ought to be predictable. But that's one of the beautiful things about them. They're capricious and they're illogical, and that's one of the wonderful things about life.
I suppose so. I do love you.
And I do love you. Sweetheart, you ought to know better than to be thinking thoughts like this. One of the wonderful things about married life is that we have each other to love and to comfort.
I know. Oh, Steve.
I love her.
Oh, I'm so bad. I ought to be studying right now. I have an exam coming up.
You would bring that up right now, wouldn't you? Because when I was lying here, it occurred to me how I might handle my chapter on postpartum depression.
I think I should be offended somehow, but I'm not sure exactly why. Hello.
Hello, Carolee. It's Maggie.
Have you heard something?
Well, I guess that's what I was calling you to ask.
No, we haven't heard anything. There are no messages on Jason's service either. We were kind of still hoping they'd call us.
Of course. Well, we did have one kind of strange phone call.
Well, who from?
Well, we don't really know. Matt talked to her. She said her name was Katie Snell and that she was a friend of Greta's from grade school, but we kind of think that she made the name up.
What did she want?
Well, she said that she wondered whether we heard from Greta, and then when I took the phone, she hung up.
Well, that is strange. Well, let us know if she calls again, will you?
I will. And you call me, you know, if you hear anything.
We will. Bye, Maggie.
Goodbye. They didn't hear anything.
Well, there's not much we can do, except wait.
You know, I have so often thought about what it would be like when Greta had her first baby. We'd be typical grandparents, of course. You know, pacing up and down the waiting room while Greta and her husband were working on the labor and the birth. With Steve there, of course, to make sure that everything went just right. And then he'd come out and he'd say, "Congratulations. You're the proud grandparents of a perfect baby girl or boy." Oh, Matt, do you realize that Greta's going through the most important event of her life with strangers? Probably with people who don't even know her right name.
Yeah, well, I guess we didn't do too great with either of our children. Maybe we expected too much of her. Mike still treats me like I was some sort of hanging judge.
Oh, come on, Matt, that's not true.
So why couldn't he tell me the real reason for his fight with Colin?
Oh, probably because it was too painful.
Tried to make it clear to him. I wanted to listen and wanted him to trust me, but he got that closed, stubborn look on his face he always does when I try to break down the wall between us.
I'm sure that he'll tell you about it when he feels the time is right.
Right. The day I helped him pack up, it was perfect. We were all alone there in the house. If you wanted to confide in somebody, that was the ideal time. But he still closed me out.
Matt, I think you have to realize that that's a difficult thing for a man to admit to himself, let alone to a father that he respects.
So why could
Why did he tell me and not you?
Well, yes. That hurt.
You have to understand that this happened just before the wedding. I mean, everything just sort of blew up, and it was late at night. It was 3 o'clock in the morning. People say things at a time like that that they don't ordinarily talk about.
So you're telling me if I want to communicate with my son, I've got to wake him up at 3 o'clock in the morning?
Oh, come on, Matt. No, of course not. I guess there may be another reason that he found it easier to tell me about Sarah and Colin.
What?
Well, I don't really like to bring this up, but if you remember, I did confide in Mike about what happened between Carl Wilson and me. I mean, perhaps he thought that I would be a little more sympathetic. Oh, come on. Do we have to talk about this now?
No, I know. We're both stretched to the breaking point. I think every phone call is going to be some word about Greta.
Mrs. Martinson, everything possible is being done to find the girl. The boy's uncle, Jason Aldrich. Maybe you've heard of him? Yes, that's right. He's personally conducting the search. Greta Powers is a highly emotional and unstable girl. She has nothing to do with us. This running away has nothing to do with us. I'll let you know the minute we have any news. Kim, did you want to see me? Well, just don't stand there, child. Come in.
You know, you've been taking more exams to be a midwife than I ever did to get my license. What's this one about?
Physiology of the neonate.
Mommy, where's Billy?
Honey, don't you remember? I told you when you got back from Grandma's. Remember? Billy's going to be away for a little while.
How long?
Well, we hope he'll be back pretty soon.
I miss him.
No, honey. So do I. So do all of us. I bet he misses us, too.
Can I write him a letter?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Why don't you do it in the morning, though, okay? I want you to get in bed now.
Hey, Snooks. Give Daddy a good night kiss, huh? Gee, you're really brown as a berry, aren't you? A lot of time at Grandma's pool. I know something else. I bet Grandma spoiled you and let you stay up way beyond your bedtime, right? That's what I thought. Go on now. Sweet dreams. Poor kid. What a mess.
the strangest feeling. All of a sudden, I just feel that Greta's in some kind of danger.
Oh, well, don't get mystical on me all of a sudden, sweetheart. I mean, we all know that Greta might have a difficult delivery.
No. I just suddenly remembered. You remember the night of the accident when I was pregnant with Steffi? Remember when I was holding myself saying, I've lost the baby, I've lost the baby.
Sweetheart, you didn't lose the baby.
I know I didn't. I just sort of feel that somehow Greta.
Caroline, listen. Darling, you're studying to be a midwife, not a witch. That wasn't a premonition you had, sweetheart. It was a very simple and very understandable anxiety attack. Now, I'm sure wherever the kids are, they've probably seen a paper. If they haven't seen a doctor before, I'm sure they have now.
Hello. Yes, hold on.
Hello? Yeah. What about the contractions? Okay, Prepper, I'll be there in about 15 minutes. It's Mrs. Lazarus. Should be a complicated delivery.
Well, at least she has you. Oh, God knows who Greta has or where she is. I know you think it's stupid. I really do have the feeling, though, that Greta's maybe in labor or something. Somehow they're in danger.
And if the baby is to be born safely, you must seek medical attention now. Billy has seen this letter.
How do you know?
I don't know how I know, but I know it.
Woman's intuition.
Honey, I don't care what you call it, but I know that they've seen this letter. And I know that they've gone out to find medical help. It's almost as if I can hear Greta saying, I'm all right. I'm all right, Mom.
I don't want to bring you down, honey, but isn't that wishful thinking?
Oh, what about that telephone call, huh? What about it?
What about it?
Well, suddenly, out of nowhere, someone calls and says she's a friend of Greta's from grade school.
Could have been a coincidence. Prank call.
Or it could have been a signal. It could have been a message from Greta. That's what it had to be.
Won't you sit down, Kim?
Did you know about Greta? I mean, what they said about her in the paper?
Of course.
I didn't.
Would you have done anything differently if you had known?
Like what?
That's what I'm asking you, Kim.
Mrs. Herrick, I came here because I'm very concerned about Greta. Greta Powers was the only friend I ever had around here. And after I saw the paper,
Well, we can only hope that Billy and Greta have seen it too.
Well, that's what I mean. Maybe they've gone somewhere where they don't have a newspaper or a phone or anything.
I can't imagine they're going a place like that, can you?
I don't know.
Kim, I'm going to ask you a question, and I want a simple answer. Do you know where Greta is?
Oh, no. Here we go again.
I asked you a question, Kim.
Mrs. Herrick, I'm concerned about Greta, and all of a sudden you're giving me the third degree again.
I think you came in here for something else, Kim. I think you know something about where Greta is, and you wanted to tell me. Kim, if you know anything at all, please tell me.
Why? So you can drag her back to this place.
Greta came here of her own free will.
And she left of her own free will, too.
I don't think so, Kim. I think you pushed Greta into running away.
How could I do that?
Why, you never let her enjoy the peace and seclusion the center had to offer. You set her against me in the center from the very first minute you saw her.
Because you wanted to get her baby away from her the way you did with me.
Kim, if you know where Greta is, I demand that you tell me.
It's a free country, Mrs. Herrick. I don't have to tell you a damn thing.
You come back here.
Now, I don't know what kind of danger Greta's in, but wherever she is, it's better than being cooped up in this jail.